And I'm going to take off the starting soon notification because it's done and we're back for what we're actually. And Jason's the only one who doesn't know about this because Jason didn't come over to the new Discord channel. For what I'm going to be, I won't call it this on the channel, but I do call it unofficially Tuesday Night 2E, where we kind of just hang out and play games together and stuff. As always, Jason and Ross and Josh, I almost tripped there. Thank you guys for your support on Patreon. Levi, thanks for telling me about all the anime I haven't seen in my life. We are a little behind, so I'm just going to grab my character sheet and turn it over. Take it away, Jason.
Okay, where we last left off was at the end of the encounter where you didn't get eaten.
We did not.
Thank goodness.
It looked close.
That's a bigger accomplishment than we would have gathered.
I have this many hit points right now.
So basically, with the sky getting lighter, the vampire wizard decided it really was not worth killing y'all, and he had burned most of his good spells earlier in the evening. So when he left, the what was left of the your enemies dissolved to piles of bones on the ground. So at this point, dawn breaks and initiative is over.
Okay.
So now everybody goes and gathers up all the bone meal.
Yeah.
I gather up so much bone meal.
Opens up the little book.
I don't know what I'm doing with it.
Well,
I can't
for
do
the
that.
one,
Can't do Minecraft music right.
well, for those that were not specifically killed and damaged, the bones are not. They're still intact. They just are no longer clumped together.
Gotcha. All right. So I gather up all the bones and bone meal, and I will turn some bones into bone meal later on.
I am
That
scrolling through the
works.
book. I have in my inventory a pair of lesser healing potions. I forget how much they heal. I have 1 hit point. I am going to down them. They're not called healing potions. What did I write them as? Lesser healing potions. That's my bad. Elixir of life, lesser. So that's...
Oh.
I'm just going to grab 66.
Because that's the alchemical version.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that I'm only missing 34 hit points. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of good. I'm just gonna look at you guys and go, and this is why you don't run up to the big scary thing without a plan.
Yeah, I'm only missing 14 HP myself.
Normally, the caster in the back is the least of the scary things when you're in its face with a sword.
How did you not expect it to be like the vampire, some sort of undead leech or something like that?
Because I normally expect more normal necromancers.
More norm. You didn't grow up in these lands, did you?
No.
I don't even wait for her answer before turning to the rest of the group. So, all right, you all ain't dead. That's a good start. Take it. How many for you all? Is this your first proper encounter with a vampire?
I raise my hand.
Silumgar finishes the potion. He is chugging and nods.
Rule number 1 of a vampire. Pray to whatever god, deity, or whatever path you follow, that if you do run into one, you run into one just before the crack of dawn like we just did.
Yeah, especially those that look at you and say, I had more garlic than that with lasagna last night.
Yeah. Passing them well
Because,
saved.
surprise, surprise, hitting them with a steak, hitting them with a onion, that ain't even gonna... Some of the stronger ones can just shrug it off. Sometimes. They're not always lucky. But either way,
So what you're saying, my friend, is that we need to let you be our guide.
what I'm saying is, if we have any intent of doing this sort of camping again, I say just kind of pointing to the open air thing, we need to make sure we do it somewhere that can have plenty of light, natural. We need to stay out of woods and forests. I know that's kind of counterproductive compared to a lot of other places in the world, but look at it this way. If a majority of these things around here only go away when the sun's out, you better bet your ass you're going
Language.
to want to have... Sorry. You're going to want to make sure you are out in the sun.
Yeah, the wolves we don't have to worry about. What we have to worry about is other things with fangs.
While Saruk is giving us the briefing on vampires, I would like to, with a 17 on a survival check, go through the bodies of the skeletons, see if I can find like sigildry or something, anything at all, to might maybe link this to some house or something somewhere in Usalov.
On top, okay, I see that. Give me a perception check also.
Okay. One worse.
Okay.
Yep.
As you're looking around, seeing the old and rusted implement, rusted chainmail, there you look down at the image on the shield and you're racking your brain trying to figure out maybe what it might be related to, and just out of the corner of your eye you catch and see one of the pillars. The same insignia on the pillars is the insignia on the shields.
Well, that bodes well. Okay. The Sealingar will just take one of the shields and just, well, don't think that was the last we've seen of him, and like raise the shield, like go walk over next to the pillar with the shield and just and then throw the shield down.
That's encouraging.
Let's see, Saruk, if you wanted to roll me a what would give history society, I'll give, yeah, go with society.
Hey,
Nice.
Oh, you're familiar with this insignia.
What is it?
It belonged to the last human rulers of this area before a little gentleman by the name of Tarbafon, otherwise known as the Whispering Tyrant, came through and reclaimed everything. That line died out, I forget how many years ago, like 500 or more.
I'm going to very visibly grit my teeth as I see them say, that's an insignia you don't want to see. That belongs to one of the last human rulers of this world. Before, well, a little fellow named the Whispering Tyrant came back through here and sort of making his way around.
To the
Last
best
I
of your
understood.
yeah. To the best of your knowledge, he wiped everyone of that family line out.
Yeah.
That dude was speaking softly and carrying a very big stick.
Yeah. There's a reason why they call him the Whispering Tyrant. Nobody from that family lived. Which means that probably these poor fools were... Which means, unfortunately, we are dealing with something the Whispering Tyrant is interested in. Because he's the only one I could think of that would have access to people, the corpses of this sort of line, that easily. Either that or somebody within the families became a traitor or something, or they managed to turn themselves into a lich before they happened. Best bet is, and it's undead, probably has something to do with the Whispering Tyrant.
Well, let me see. I guess
While
it's
this conversation is... Oh, sorry.
Good.
I was going to say, while this conversation is going on, I'm going to start packing up my tent and whatnot, because this is spooky scary. We should get out of the mountains as fast as possible.
Indeed. I'm trying to figure out what check I
No
want
means
to
a
roll.
bad idea.
I'm with Lily. I'm going to be doing the same thing.
I will grab Lily's sword and bring it to her. And
It's real nice.
I'm trying to think what kind of check it is to know more about
I'm
the
gonna run
Whispering
and grab my
Tyrant.
sword.
Yeah, I'm going to grab my stuff.
I forgot Saruk lost his sword too, yeah.
I think we all lost a weapon in that fight, didn't we?
Nah. I almost lost my body, which is my weapon.
I was
Yeah,
about to say, yeah.
So sorry,
advantage
Jack.
of hand wraps.
I guess. So no,
Oh.
that feels wrong.
That, and I did find out one more interesting thing. So whenever someone has the grab action, which the vampire had, if he hit, he also grabbed. That means you remain grabbed until the end of his next turn.
Okay, I should have been dead. Thanks for that.
You should have used your hero point.
Yes.
You should use your hero point. You had this.
Yeah. Because, well, both of y'all would have been very tasty had I remembered that fact.
Yeah,
Ew.
things would have went much, much, much worse.
Yeah.
You would be worried about more than just the full moon.
Indeed.
Yeah, oh, and that's it. Seeing as this campaign is intended to, like, exist for longer than this, like, we will cycle back here. Like,
In
the full
theory,
moon is
yeah.
actually a lot scarier than it was in my mind beforehand.
Because we actually have a chance of seeing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't die to vampires. Well, what kind of check is it to know more about the Whispering Tyrant? I'm still, like, hung on my sheet.
That sounds...
Religion would work.
Ooh.
Arcana.
Religion it is then. Trying to find, like, history. Bam! 26.
Okay. The person who first knocked this guy back was Arodin. Yes, a god fought him. This guy...
Wait, fought who?
Arodin, the
No. Who did he fight?
the Whispering
person are we-
Tyrant.
Oh.
Tar Buffon. Or Buffon, or... Yeah, and
Yeah.
I know
he
the
didn't...
god. I didn't know that. Ugh.
Yeah. And even he did not kill the Whispering Tyrant. He just... I think it started with him, and then Iomade finally led the charge that caused him to be trapped. So he's not dead. Well, not dead. He's dead because he's a lich, but dead, not coming back dead.
Basically, Paizo's waiting to make an adventure path to find his phylactery.
That actually starts next month. I forget what it's called.
I was just joking. I
gonna-
didn't realize that was an actual thing.
You, the end of Carrying
Jeez,
Crown. The continuing the campaign in Carrying Crown, you go into Gallowspire. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the last Pathfinder 1E adventure path takes place in Usulov again, and I think it's literally called Against the Whispering Tyrant.
I'm sad.
So that's fun.
Part of me still, to be honest, part of me still enjoys 1E over 2E, but that might be because we're still playing with the beta material
Yeah.
and don't have access to all of the material. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it's nostalgia too.
Well, I mean, Kingmaker definitely gives you your 1E satisfaction.
I'll definitely be playing both probably. We play 3.5 at the house still. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Separate yet equal.
I got that. We got that Final Fantasy system that I've been.
Yeah, that looks real good. We're actually getting quite a bit of pushback on that too. And hey, if you're watching right now, we are actually looking for some players. For
What do you mean
some Final
pushback?
Fantasy.
Like people are resisting it?
People are entering, is what I mean. Like I was afraid I was going to make that video and I would get nothing. But like, there's been quite a few people. Almost all of my Wrath patrons have jumped in for it. A bunch of the Doomsday Dawn crew has. But that is neither here nor there. It's in the description if you want to follow the card. But there's not a card. It's a link. You get it. Anywho.
I was just happy that the creator of the system saw it, because I just posted the video and the thing and was like, maybe a few people in here will be interested. And then I see that the creator's in there, and I'm just like, oh, I did a good thing.
Good guy, Villadin. So we depart for the Monastery of the Veil. After we should loot the bodies also.
Yes. Oh,
Because I could use a crossbow.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep one of those shields for level 7.
I do also have a question for the GM and our resident alchemist.
Okay.
Hey Lillian.
Yeah.
I think you could maybe turn this suit of chainmail for me into a chain shirt. I've gotten a bit more agile lately, and the bits around here, I'm just going to kind of flex a bit, making it harder for me to swing. Basically, I'd like to convert my masterwork chainmail into masterwork chain shirt. Is that feasible, doable?
Well, I mean, I can craft expert items. I have repair. I'm good at crafting.
It just kind of
so it's not impossible.
Little, right?
I mean, it's just like, can she use my already pre-made expert work email into it?
Yeah.
So that way we don't have to pay more money, because that's even a step down in value.
Do you just have more dexterity than you thought you did, or like why the switch?
I have better dexterity than I thought I did. That's why I'm getting it, because now I'm like, I might lose 1 point on my touch AC, but that would make it so that way basically I would have no negative check penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be that's significantly more important for a rogue.
For sure.
Yeah.
I will say that you can do it with I'll say you can go straight conversion with a DC 20 craft check.
Okay, let's see. That just means I have to roll a 10. How long would that take as well, though?
I mean,
if y'all are going to do it,
carrying everything, I'd even carry Lillian in order to get that done, for Pete's sake.
Well, we've got the thing. I'd be riding.
Yeah. You can do it in 2 days riding in the wagon.
Sweet.
Just if you're doing it at a leisurely pace.
Gotcha. Which I'd have to assure that I did it well.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm Saruk's only. I just realized how similar those names are. God, why did that just now hit me? Saruk is just more so focused on quality and whatnot, and just thinks it would be better. So he's not in any rush. He's just like, I'm trying to help you stay alive. You're trying to help me stay alive. Could you maybe help me out with this thing? This thing can help us both stay alive a bit better.
It's a little tight in the chest.
Yeah. I don't suppose any of the skeletal champions happen to be wearing expert chain shirts, did they?
No, the chain mail they were wearing was not expert.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to be wearing that good of equipment.
I thought the skeletal champions might.
I didn't want to push it. I thought doing this was pushing it to a degree. But then again, I am asking the alchemist to craft, which I guess isn't the craziest thing I could do.
It's a little more open in the system.
I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I only did 9.
I didn't want to...
Okay, before I get to that part, though, I need to spend the first hour of the day throwing 8 resonance points into... I believe the alchemical version is an elixir of life, or is that...
Yeah, that's
I believe that's... I remember them shouting that along the last episode of Doomsday Dawn. Jesus Christ, 14d6.
And it's all maximized for a high-level alchemist. It's dumb. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So I guess Josh, if you want to take the loot down for us, Sealamgar would like to keep one of those shields because I imagine we might hit level 7 before this is over. At which point I'll have shield proficiency, which is weird on a monk, but hey.
All right. So what? So is it just a shield? That's it.
No, I imagine there was what 12 of them. 13. There was 13 of them. No, 12 of them and one vampire.
But it's like just a basic shield. It's not shield +1 or.
So do y'all go around and pick everything, all the stuff up as you're moving the bones around?
Yeah, Sealamgar will grab all the swords.
Rook's more interested in just watching out for everything and making sure nothing else is trying to creep up on us.
Okay.
He's not staying with the box. He's very clearly sitting on the box again, just kind of sitting there smoking a bit, while everybody else is walking around and is paying attention to the box because we can't afford to have somebody get the box.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Sounds.
This is one of the weird opportunities where Saruk being lazy makes the most sense because the box.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Laziness and vigilance
Well-
it's a fine line here at a simple job.
Harder for you guys to argue against me doing that, especially when I'm the only one that can carry it.
Yeah.
Okay. Off of
That was more
the
useful than I thought it would be.
3 weaker ones, you managed to salvage 3 scimitars. Now, I will say, all of this equipment, period, is not in good shape.
Sure.
It has been left outside for a significant period of time.
As you would do as a necromancer.
But there are 3 scimitars, 1 undamaged short bow, 1 damaged short bow, and the 3rd short bow literally shattered in the hands of the beastie as it tried to draw it, if you remember early in the combat.
About to say, did one of us do that?
It fumbled.
Not
No,
one. Not one bow destruction.
Off of the what would be skeletal champions, you have a total of 9 sets of chainmail, 9 heavy steel shields, and 9 longswords.
There's still something useful you could, at the very least, make out of that.
Well, and I have quick repairs, so
Yes.
I have quick.
that's
repair.
a minute per
Okay.
item.
So
I-
could you repeat that list one more time?
Okay.
I got the scimitars. 3 of those.
2 short bows, 1 damaged.
Okay. 3. My sorry.
Yeah.
The PDF is being real slow. Okay, so you said as far as the bows, there's 2 of them, 1 damaged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Short bows.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, go ahead.
3 scimitars.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that.
9 sets of chainmail, 9 heavy steel shields.
Okay, so 9, not 13.
Correct.
All
There
right.
were 13. You had 13 opponents in total.
All right. So all right.
3
so I'm at
guards, 9 champions, and a vampire who frankly was pulling his punches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
And
so
we're
the
very
heavy
thankful
shield,
for
3
that.
scimitars, 2 short bows, 9 sets of chainmail. Anything else?
9 heavy shields, steel shields,
Well, yeah, I already got the heavy steel
And-
shields down
and 9 longswords.
and 9
and-
longswords.
Let's. So that would be. Yeah. I will say that you can salvage effectively to create good sets, 7 of each of those. Swapping
Okay.
pieces.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
There's a part of me that likes the idea of using the shields to armor plate our cart.
Yeah, it's not the worst idea. In the
Why is your
Pathfinder
armor
playtest, having
solely
a
consisted of
Yeah.
knee pads and shoulder pauldrons.
it's what we found on the bodies, my lord. Straps with a pauldron on. Starts looking like the Legion from New Vegas. Having a lot of shields is not a bad thing either, depending on how many of us get shield proficiency, because it's not the worst meta to, oh, my shield's messed up, throw down that shield, draw next shield. Go again!
not only is it the ring of protection, it's
Oh no! Don't
the
throw it
key ring
down.
of
Throw it in
protection.
an enemy at a -4, so you at least have a chance to damage it with the shield first.
What's the worst that could happen?
With the way fumbles go in this, I don't know if I want to throw it at a -1, at a
lot
-4,
of bad things could happen!
because I feel like I could get some damage in on a party member.
Yeah. Overextend myself, it provokes.
So
Yeah, we none of the party members have played Ultimate Frisbee. We may not necessarily know how to throw
There
it
is
properly.
no ultimate frisbee in Libra. Only chocolates. For those who haven't made it over yet. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff. Lily's gonna fix it up and trim the hem on the chainmail to turn it into a chain shirt.
Yeah. We at this point, I assume y'all continue on the trail.
Yeah. Is there enough room on the wagon with Lily working? Is there enough room for somebody to rest?
Rest as in sit there, take a break from walking,
As in,
not be exerting, yes, but not really to. It might be more difficult for sleep if you're
fair.
explain what your plan is.
My plan is
what
to
you
get
would
some hit
like
points
to do.
back with 8 hours of doing nothing because I'm still pretty beat up.
Uh,
Do we not have Battlefield Medic or
Yeah.
anything?
I do. Could roll it. I think I have Battle
yeah,
Medic.
but
Sorry.
it
Don't have Battle Medic, I lied.
and it's harder to work on yourself than someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I will say, yeah, if you are riding all day, doing basically nothing, I'll say you can call it 8 hours of rest, not for healing purposes.
Okay, fair enough.
Not doing anything more difficult than hold this for a moment as she goes to town with some wire cutters.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Because Steelingard definitely watched his life flash before his eyes, and although he's probably feeling pretty good, that
Both of you guys in the cart dead.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I was more of a I'm dying next turn, aren't I? Than the I almost died. Okay, over the course of the first hour, I am using the alchemist thing to spend all 8 of my resonance points to make 16 lesser elixirs of life. Because that's all I can make.
Okay.
So, yeah. Because I get to make a half batch per resonance point spent.
Okay. I will. Okay. You're doing this on a moving cart. Takes you 3 hours.
Lots of bumps and switchbacks through the mountains and things.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do it. It just takes you longer.
Okay.
It's harder to pour when you're going over rocks.
Anyway, so that's 16d6 additional healing for the day.
Yeah, that probably will serve y'all good.
Okay. So it
Okay.
normally takes me a minute to repair something. How long are we scaling that up to repair all of the...
Well, are you still... Okay. Here comes the two questions. Working for... You're not going to get rest while working.
Right?
So the question is, are you looking to get it done fast, or are you looking to maintain quality?
For the like broken bits we picked up that I'm bringing back together, I was more looking for speed of getting a fair number of them all right than direct quality.
Okay, to bring it up to, I'll call it 10 minutes per to bring things back up to, you know, standard used in a marketplace level.
Gotcha. How many... Can I get a rundown on just how many things I'm repairing right now?
Let's see, 5 and 3 sevens, that'd be 26 items.
All right. So instead of doing all of them right now, I'm gonna work and get 6 shields ready
Okay,
because they're the most directly usable.
okay. That you can do in about an hour.
Sounds good. So we've spent half the day. All right. Now I'm gonna start working on Saruk's request.
Okay.
Right.
That works. Give me a what skill do you use on your crafting?
Crafting.
Yeah, no. Give her a roll.
Okay, double checking. No.
Ouch.
Oh, and it takes 2 hero points to reroll, right?
It
Can I give
does.
him one of mine to be able to reroll?
Yes, if
Have
you're
mine.
willing to.
We both...
Please take mine.
I don't
Okay.
want to just completely shred your armor.
Oops, no more armor.
That's why I'm giving you mine.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, on
Okay.
the bright side, you would have had a replacement. It just wouldn't have been as good. So, yes, Ross and Levi, you burn your points and
Please.
Okay.
30.
That's a lot better.
That's a critical success
That
too.
is
That is a
good.
critical
DC you
success.
chose.
Very good.
yes, that is a critical success. Man,
That's such a dichotomy right there.
Yes, it is.
I was trying so hard not to jump with joy at the 1, but okay, I guess.
Well, think of the 1 burnt 2 hero points. If we get into a similar situation, we're gone so tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as y'all pull up to where you will be staying tonight, shirt's done.
Nice.
Whew.
So before y'all set up
Delightful.
camp for bed, you have a nice Taylor, and I will, and for now I will give you, Ross, a +1 conditional bonus for the next 7 days for exact fit, because she had time, and with that, so you will get a +1 competence bonus to any acrobatics, athletics type check used in conjunction with your armor. Because you went from, yes, this is very good armor, to this is your very good armor.
Nice.
Why, yes, indeed. Dodging all
With
the
that,
things.
yes, I know you don't have guns, but when you flex, you even look better.
Oh God.
There's, just something about a man in a tailored chainmail shirt.
For girl crazy
I'm
about
going to resist saying "oh my" to that.
Oh my! I won't resist.
I'm going to resist.
So okay, how damaged are people still? Because we've got 16d6 of healing to pass around.
I have.
Don't give any to me. I'm good.
I have 34 damage on me after 8 hours of rest in the cart, and if we're about to rest again, I think I can probably be fine because I'll get another.
Yeah,
20
but these
back.
burn out over the day.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, I'll take one. Might as well we all take
Yeah.
one then, if they're gonna burn out.
Yeah. If they're
I'm gonna start off being a little selfish because I'm still at 17.
But that's fair. No, you're good. Please be
So,
selfish.
Let's start off with the first 66 for myself.
Bleeding all over people's chainmails. You try to fix it.
Okay. So I'm healing 21 from the first bout of it. I'm up to 2/3 of my health ish. How's everyone else looking?
I'm
They
only
come in
missing 14.
Do they come in increments of 6?
They come in no. They come in D6s. I have 10 more.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was me drinking 6 potions. That was a chug fest.
3, 4, 5, 6. I wouldn't mind taking throw 3d6 at me. Let's see where we land. That won't get me to full.
So I'm down to, but we just need as close as we can get safely.
I just need to get within 20, and that should. Yeah, it does.
Cool.
I'm looking at my sheet. 13. That puts me.
Yeah.
I'll be at 1 hit point when I wake up this morning.
1 missing.
Yeah. Yes. Fair distinction.
Rats! I was going to hold you to that.
Yeah. Okay. And Dale, you want to roll 2d6 maybe?
Sure, I can do that.
I hate to say this, but such overtones of a frat party.
Okay, so that only put. So I've
Lillian's.
I only have 3 health that I'm down.
Yeah, Lillian's in the chugger corner handing out.
How many more do you have left?
I've got 5d6 left on me.
Can I take 2?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Lily should probably take the rest after that.
That's what I'm planning on.
7. That's good enough. That plus full night's rest. You regain your level times your con modifier over a rest, right?
Yep, you got
over
it.
a long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 18. 47 plus 18.
Okay.
65. I'm only down 9.
Yeah,
My AC and TAC has gone down by 1 point, but my checks have gone up to plus 12s and stuff like that. So hey,
seems worth it to me.
Yeah,
I should have focused more on my con.
I'm melee rogue. I had to.
Yeah,
that's my next class thing. Is totally going to be the fighter archetype to get dedication feat that gives me a crap ton of more HP.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds nice.
It will be.
That's such as the problem of all characters. You can't be good at everything. So,
well, and then I'm also an elf, who are the worst on the HP department.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
-2 con and a 6 HP starting point.
Rough indeed.
There's just too good an alchemist, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, same watch order tonight.
Seems good to me.
Sure.
Okay. That means night goes uneventfully.
Woo!
Okay. So, Watts, at this point, you are 2 days out of the mile. 2 days to get there. Anything in particular y'all plan on doing?
Thanking Lillian for
Just-
her craftsmanship and whatnot, as I kind of just very clearly have been more nimble lately.
Okay, so we wake up. Because I have a 12 con, I would heal 6 HP.
Ew.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
That
Wow,
wow,
there
that is
any-
really bad.
So just in case for the day, in the no, it's not worth that time. I will spend 10 minutes per. I think we still have 20 items I can work on repairing.
Stand by. You did.
Because I did 6 shields
Yeah,
and I didn't touch anything else up.
right. So that puts it to 15. Yep, 20.
Okay, so that's 200 minutes.
Yes. However, I will require you to make DC 1d5 rolls for the short bows because they are,
shredded.
and they're
Okay,
they've been outdoors a long time.
if they're that bad, I might just scrap them for parts.
Yeah. Better use this kindling.
And just like take the string, take what wood I can salvage, and put it in my repair kit for future.
Seems good.
Okay. Okay. So y'all will continue the night for the rest of the day. You figure a day's walk away. Same setting for the night, same watch pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any
Assuming-
reason to change it.
Assuming nothing changes throughout the day, yeah.
Nope. You're good.
Okay, another 6
And-
hit points.
Whoa, that's rough.
It is. I'm still 2 HP under max.
Ugh.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's actually good.
And
I never got hit in the werewolf fight.
Yeah. Oh,
during
good.
the night,
Oh, look, guys, a map. It's a map for us.
you all sleep peacefully.
Oh, okay.
And
That
the
was
next
good.
morning, the next morning,
So I don't have Roll20 displayed
that
on
was-
OBS right now, but you guys need to know we clicked on a battle map. It's
Oh.
during the night battle map.
You cheeky son of a gun.
Well
you.
done.
me,
Very Jason thing to do.
tell all of y'all who are watching this, isn't it sad when people think the worst of you?
Yes, it is.
During the night map.
Okay, so
I've seen so many
you
people
wait-
try to fake people out on YouTube too. Like at the IOPC, Adam used to be, roll me a reflex save, and we'd never believe him. But no, you had me. I saw a map come up, just okay. Right now.
Okay. So the next morning, bright and early, you head off after your morning preparations, and it's call it it's about 2 in the afternoon when you reach the Monastery of the Veil. And let me go quickly to the appropriate reference material.
Quick to the
Stand
appropriate
by.
page in Rule of Fear.
Why, yes, you're the right book. However, okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. The Monastery of the Veils, rumored in scholarly circles to be a trove of endless secrets and wonders. The cloister possesses a much more sinister reputation within the borders of its home county, which actually y'all don't know about. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, Dale might.
Okay.
Dale
Okay.
might make appropriate checks when called upon.
Yes. What
But I
will
haven't
say-
eaten since I've lived in the country my entire life.
Yeah,
Travel around
yeah,
from
that's
everywhere.
a fair point.
You would have been all over, so yes. Go ahead and give me a society check.
Dang, just having a character that lived in this country has been beneficial.
I guess it has.
19?
You've heard rumors that, there something's just not quite right with it, with this monastery. It's kind of, they're Pharasmans, but even for people who worship the god
Goddess of death.
death, rebirth, and finding your place in eternity, there's just some creepy stuff that goes on around here. That people will disappear with no trace. It's just not.
Oh, I guess as we're pulling up towards the city, then I would have been like, "Hey guys, well, guys, let me give you a little. Can I talk with you a little bit?"
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess
see
there's
no
not
reason
really
why
much of
not.
a choice since we're kind of all stuck in the same position. But well, thought I at least could humor being stop being a smarter pants. So this place we're going to, it's supposed to be a monastery devoted to Pharasma and all that, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, listen, you didn't hear it from me, but if I was to take a guess, I don't think they follow just Pharasma in there. That place is weird. People tend to just disappear around and whatnot. The few times I've gone through here, nothing good's ever come out of it.
The lady keeps her secrets, Saruk.
That I just raised my eyebrow a bit at that. That doesn't sound comforting. You happen to know a bit about this place, perhaps, Dale?
I'm going to speak to the people in this monastery alone.
I just kind of like look at the rest of the group, and look back at him.
I'm the best person to represent, and we have spices to sell.
All right, I ain't one for messing with the religious, and if you think you'd be able to handle it better than me, that ain't much of a high god.
Let's roll at Dale's deception. 24.
That's a pretty high roll.
Yeah.
Do you need me to roll a deception check?
As if when I'm rolling against your deception DC, that means if you were to roll 10 on a deception check, what we get is my DC basically.
Okay. Let me look that real quick. If the PDF will show all the numbers on this file.
But I don't use the PDFs. I use like
Like a physical one.
Microsoft stuff.
Also good.
Yeah.
You
mean-
youngsters with your digital this and digital that.
Look, I grew up
Let's
in the
refresh
internet
the
age.
page.
Okay.
I'm
My
gonna
life can be
refresh the page
traced
and see
back.
if that
My
helps.
major life events can be traced back to major events in the internet.
Okay, there we go.
And the saddest part is, I'm not even joking about that.
Yeah, yes, Tommy, you beat it, but you don't critically beat it.
Okay.
You beat it by 4.
Okay. Nice.
So you feel that something's up, but he has more than just mercantile reasons.
Saruk's not rolling because Saruk does not mess with religious types. He's
Also, Jason, you might have the rest of the party roll a perception check to notice that my mask is off.
I imagine that's a pretty easy. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The face.
Yeah.
Right. To be honest, I'm going to call that a DC 11 perception check. So just high enough you can't take. So
Lillian
what?
is just barely aware of the fact that the mask is. Oh,
Yeah.
the mask. Oh.
Oh yeah.
even if I get
You have a
wait, so it's a
face.
DC 11.
yes.
Even if I roll a natural 1, I hit that.
Same, but I rolled anyway because the nat one is a
28.
nat one.
Basically, I'm double checking for not a nat 1.
Fair.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I guess that
Yeah.
non-relevant nat ones are always the funniest nat ones because then you get to feed people false information or convince them that something is fake.
You never tell what could happen to someone. You know, they might approach a group of dwarves thinking they're
They
death
might.
cultists from another continent.
Or somebody might break into a warehouse a couple turns earlier. You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Or somebody might think it's a good idea to combine cinnamon and garlic together to fight off werewolves.
Hey,
I
That
It
will
does
works.
say-
Is the stupidest
That
part
does
about
work.
It
It does
I-
work. That
I-
is the part that upsets me about it, is that it does work.
because I crit failed and crit succeeded.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. That just irritates me, but makes me giggle so much at the same time.
RNG. So it's pretty obvious Dale isn't telling the whole story, and he's not wearing his mask anymore.
Sorry for the noise. I needed to get my papers because I need to write down some Roll20 cheat notes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well,
Fair enough.
because I'm going to have to talk to the GM privately, and I want to make sure that
Oh.
I've got those kind of keywords written down.
/W.
Oh, that's simple. It should be just /GMR if you're rolling.
Well,
it
I
just
see
as a
it on
GM.
like the Welcome to Roll20 thing, but I want to write it down on paper so that
So you
way
can
I've
just look
got
at it and
it.
see it. That's fair.
Yeah, because it disappears after a while.
Dale, what are you telling
Okay.
us?
I have. What am I not telling you?
Very obvious. Your interest
You know
in
who
this
I
place
you
is
know who I
spice.
follow, and you know who I follow, and you know the aspect of him that I follow, and the aspect of him I follow means that I don't give secrets away.
Wait, him?
There are some things you don't need to know, but
It's
I
in
promise you,
Pharasma chick.
there's some things you don't need to know, and I promise you what you don't need to know will not bring harm to the party. However, if I tell you, it may bring harm to the party. So just ignorance is bliss on this one, guys.
I have to ask that whatever you do, don't get yourself killed.
I have to ask whatever you do,
no,
don't
get-
put me in a position to get killed.
Like I said, as long as you guys don't dig your noses in business you shouldn't dig your noses in, you guys will be just fine.
I understand.
Look,
It's a
the
secluded
last
monastery in the mountains. It kind of reminds me of home.
the last time I didn't dig my nose into something, I ended up with a bondage fetish. Apparently, I say, kind of grabbing at the collar. So forgive me for being a bit more inquisitive than I normally am.
And I will
His
tell.
group is big on secrets.
I will tell you this. I am going to see. I'm going to talk to someone in the monastery of importance, and it's
So,
not going to
and
be
this god
about
of yours
spices.
And this god of yours ain't big on people knowing about him, right?
Norgorber is the holder of holder of secrets. His servants
Nor
hold
who?
secrets.
Nor Gerber?
Norgorber.
Nor Galber? What?
Norgorber.
All right, whatever. I don't care for this religion nonsense. You just
Why do you think I wear the mask?
fair enough. Fair enough. You know me. I ain't big on the gods. You
But going into a monastery of Pharasma wearing a Norgorber mask is not a good idea, which is why I took it off.
wait. So the two don't like each other.
They're not shaking hands and drinking ale.
Fair. Well, then I'm going to be blatantly honest with you, friend. You're better at talking to me than I am normally, so I'm more than fine with you taking the lead on negotiations. I'm just going to sit here with the box as it just kind of like patting it.
I
agree.
appreciate your consideration.
Look, if
Now
you've fought with me enough, I know you're not going to get me killed just yet.
Okay. Couple things. First off, Ross, give me a D20 roll.
Okay,
No mod.
7. That's not good.
Beat the 5.
Whenever you made the comment about having acquired some sort of bondage fetish gear and pulled on the neck collar, there was a little bit of a mechanical clicking sound, and your hand received what felt like a mild electric shock.
Like, look at my hand. Look at the collar a bit. Look at my hand.
Okay.
I
You will
hate
notice this
magic.
immediately. Everyone else roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, did I inadvertently do something stupid? I did something stupid.
As normal, Lillian.
Oh,
Okay.
Josh.
Oh,
Uh,
I was so busy talking about things that I wasn't paying attention.
uh,
I think it was a craft guide to D&D said that clerics are literally just channeling their fandoms to become all powerful. That's what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fangirling over Nor. I'm not even going to be able to say his
Okay.
name right. Out
Norgorber.
of character.
okay, I'm going to resolve this in order of lowest roll to highest roll. So, first off, Dale, I got to get a flat D20 from you.
No.
Oh no.
Because
Oh,
as you're doing this,
preferably
you see him do that, and you realize it really itches under your collar. And you scratch and continue talking. So no effect. Yay. Silumgar. You notice that during this conversation, as he reaches up and tugs on his collar, his hand kind of jumps away, and you notice that some of the sections that look more like gears on the front of the collar appear to be spinning. And Lillian,
Oh no.
as you see the same thing, you see faint faint greenish blue light coming out from around the edges of the collar. You see gears along the side of the collar moving, and you see the start of blades raising. And then after a moment, you see them click back down. Oh, and Saruk, the collar feels maybe just a hair tighter than it did a few minutes ago. Normally you're unaware of it, but it feels a little heavier right now. It's almost like it's trying to remind you it's there. I know that sounds strange for an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like flick my wrist a bit.
Maybe not do that.
Huh?
Did you were much closer to losing your head than I'm used to.
Wow, they really can't take a joke, can they?
They
No,
cannot.
apparently they can't.
Alright then.
Just a fair warning.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I'm just gonna cross my arms very clearly away from my neck.
Just as
Yeah,
far down as you can cross
understandable.
them.
Yeah. About of my waist, almost like I'm just kind of holding my hands over my, over my intersection of my belly button and whatnot.
Okay. And about this point, the Monastery of the Veil comes into view, and it is a pretty impressive place. Dark stone walls, a very large and strong door leads into the inner part of the castle, or inner part of the monastery. There are two options for where you could go. You can either go into the monastery itself, but beside the monastery itself has a small village in front, which from what you see there, primarily it's just mainly farmers. You would guess some minor artisans who do minor stuff for the monastery. You would say very much non. It would help if my brain engaged.
It usually does.
Non-monks, non-members of the order who provide services, help with farming, help, you would expect they probably have a market once a week. It's just not much of there's a little bit of a village, but not much of one. There is what does appear to be a small inn public house, but nothing large. It's very much all there is a place where it looks like if you were a visiting scholar or part of someone's retinue, you might be able to stay, but it's not like an inn you would expect to see in a city. So and that butts up against one of the walls. The entire front section of the monastery appears to be about the size of, well, okay, I'll use a example that most of us can relate to. It's about the size of Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
Okay.
So,
Tony
yeah.
gets it. Football? I know what a football is.
The only reason I know is because I helped coordinate one of the B2 flyovers during one of the games. So,
Well, that's a feather in your cap. Good for you.
I don't know why, but the way you said that just can't help but make me chuckle.
Classic Josh.
it's just because his token has a feather in his cap.
Oh, that's
But
it.
everything. But
I mean, and I mean, the feathers in caps has been kind of a theme of the last few days.
But looking at things, you would think that you are well able to go basically anywhere you can see inside the monastery without concern about violating your 1 mile leash.
Okay.
So,
That's very good.
with everything considered, do we want to just leave me somewhere with this thing? Maybe me and, I don't know,
Selimgar
Lillian,
is
do you want to
going
go
to
talk
keep
around,
his
or
hands to
Selimgar?
himself. Selimgar basically lives in one of these on the other side of the world when he's not off somewhere else. And after Dale has said what Dale has said, knows better than to talk to anyone, than to say anything, than to touch anything. Selimgar is going to just be very nice in the wagon until Dale's done with what Dale needs to be done with.
I could see working on trying to build something new, because there was an idea that when I repaired the 26, did I repair everything, or were the larger sets of like 9 of one thing and a 9 of other things set down to the 7 I could fix with using parts? Okay. I'm contemplating what I could make if I tried to set all of those leftover bits that were crappy into one thing.
Much as I do not expect my talking skills to be any good, I don't like the idea of us having just one member of our party go off alone, even if it is within the safe reach of
Of the mile. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, because we've already very clearly been targeted because of our connection to the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
I mean,
I guess one of us could
here.
guide him to the door and let him go in the monastery on his own.
I'd be agreeable to that.
Yeah, because I imagine in the monastery.
The thing is, I will tell you that it is best to ask permission of someone from the monastery for more than one of us to go further in.
I imagine Dale in the monastery is probably either safe as houses or like in more danger than we're going to dig him out anyway.
Well, either way, I mean, I've done a number of bodyguard jobs. If you just want me to go in, stand there, and look like I'm a menacing face and do menacing face things, and while you go take care of what we're actually here to take care of, I can do that. Just, I don't think we should be too far apart from one another, or at least have somebody with an eye on us, with everything considered.
Or we
That's
just
been going on
assume
lately.
everyone gets back together before the sun goes down.
Saruk, come with me.
Okay.
All right.
Let's not
this
delay
point,
anymore.
I need everybody to roll perception.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Ross was right. Oh, good. Here we go. We did it, team. Oh, great.
I'm crafting.
Look at this sword. I'm dead now.
23. My perception's higher than the monks?
You rolled better.
Yeah.
You probably have better wisdom, too.
No,
Okay.
I only have like a +2 to my wisdom.
Weird.
Lillian.
I have expert perception.
You have never seen someone carve a wooden butterfly like one you see hanging from a house nearby.
Ooh, that
You
sounds so
have to
nice.
have it.
And
It's
Deza.
beautiful. It's
So-
as beautiful as your formula for driving off werewolves and vampires.
Oh,
we should crack
must.
that and throw it at the vampire.
Yes, it will be so good.
It is
Hey, vampires love art.
it is a thing of beauty, and you must have it.
Vampires do love artsy things.
And
I'll-
we'll come back to that in just a moment.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Tommy did good. Josh, you notice someone is walking forward towards the party.
Yes.
Tommy, you notice someone is walking towards the party. He is wearing he's wearing robes and carrying a book. And just because Mac or Ross, you got a little better, you notice that he is wearing a holy symbol of Pharasma and is moving in a dignified manner, which makes you think he is probably someone that the monastery keeps in town to greet visitors.
I'll just kind of mention I'll just kind of mutter to the rest of the group. Shop. I think that's the welcoming party.
Sealamgar will try to look as small as he can.
I will start to approach the monk, for the servant of Pharasma.
I will be close behind. I will be behind. Tongue. I'll be close behind Josh's character because I can't say the name right now.
Okay.
But like a distance away, like
Yeah.
once again, look like bodyguard.
Okay. So basically a half step behind.
Yeah.
The person comes up to you, looks at you specifically, Dale, bows his hooded head slightly, and says, makes the spiral of Pharasma in front of you. Welcome, travelers. What brings you to the monastery of the Veil?
Okay, so you got what I sent you, and
Yeah.
Okay, so I say we're here to sell spices that you, the great servant of Pharasma, would be interested in. The lady keeps her secrets, and we respect that. And as I say that, I will go a little bit closer to where I can just whisper something to her. And I say, so does another.
Okay.
And I need to speak to someone, to the one who knows what the other says. Something akin to that.
Okay.
Before we find out she knows nothing about them.
Oh, the Norgrimerites,
Okay,
we ran them out years ago. Busted.
Okay. I guess I will throw it out there. Is anyone going to attempt? Well, I would say from that, the acolyte keeps their bearing well enough that unless y'all are just absolutely paranoid about everyone, there was no obvious sign of reaction. So
I'm doing the thing where I have like my side to them and I'm looking around elsewhere, trying to
Yes.
not pay attention to the conversation.
See, them guys are pretty scrawny, dude. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm gonna look real scrawny and unassuming in the wagon.
yeah,
Nobody.
spices. We very rarely have anyone bring spices. May I ask what you have? Certain things would definitely bring the attention of some of the highest members of the order.
I'm not sure the exact name, but I tell her we have the spices that are particularly of interest to the goddess of life and death.
Okay. When
Oh,
This is a test
2-minute warning.
system.
Just oh. Oh my god.
If this had been an actual Pathfinder playtest emergency, we would have
We would be rolling
immediately
initiative.
ran the heck away.
Yeah.
This has been a test of the Pathfinder playtest system.
Okay. When you say that, there's some minor interest. When you mention that you have saffron, no one needs to make a perception check. The acolyte looks up fast enough that their hood comes back off. Saffron. How much? The bishop loves saffron. Loves saffron.
I don't know if I wrote this down in the
Yes.
cheat sheet, but how much saffron do we have, guys?
I think we had
2
quite a
pounds.
bit. Yeah.
Okay,
2
so
pounds.
I tell her 2 pounds worth.
Please bring the spices and are you the merchant?
I am the representative for this party because, like I told you,
Yeah, understood. The bishop prefers to deal with only one.
I would ask that Saruk be allowed at least enough distance away to assure the rest of my compatriots that nothing ill is going to happen to me. Just to put their hearts at ease.
The acolyte kind of tilts her head.
A show of faith, if you will.
You would be... I'm sorry, the bishop only allows one in... Would you be comfortable waiting in the indoor courtyard?
That is completely fine. I do not intend or am trying to step on your proverbial toes. Just that is quite permissible. Thank you, madam.
Yes, please. I do not wish to appear rude. That is not a normal request. The House of Pharasma brings safety and rest to all who enter. But again, please, follow me. The rest of your party, please, yes, there's Susanna. She offers hospitality to the travelers who come through. Given that you have saffron, she will take care of your needs. Please accept it as a gift of the Monastery of the Vales. And, sir, may I have your name? Dale.
Dale never know.
Master Never Know, if you would please bring your goods or have your companion bring them. Please.
I'll bring them. It's
Yeah.
2 pounds.
You had, let me look at my, 2 pounds of cloves, 2 pounds of saffron, 2 pounds of nutmeg, and a pound of cinnamon left.
Yeah, I can carry those in my hand.
Yes.
Like I can balance
Yeah.
those. If I need to make
Now-
a strength check, I will, but I can do it.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
no, that's not much of anything. Do you plan to take all of that? I'm asking.
I would certainly like to bring the saffron. Actually, I'll just bring the saffron. I'll bring the saffron. I can get the rest of it later. I want to bring the saffron to especially because of the bishop.
Okay.
I mean, the rest can wait.
Well, to be completely honest, what I was asking is, you are going to, just as a merchant, you will be able to sell all of this if you want.
Oh,
What I was looking for
okay.
is,
Yeah.
are you looking to keep any of this aside, or
I don't see any
Okay, so
reason
we
why
need to ask
wouldn't.
the party if we're going to keep any.
yeah?
I think we discussed this earlier, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to offer the best prices.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I would say. Like, we're not getting a higher stock price here. We need to sell.
I agree. I say we vendor all the spices off here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
That
I'll
we
carry
can
them.
do.
I'll carry them all up there then.
Okay. At the gate to the monastery, as you reach it, the acolyte who greeted you speaks quickly to an acolyte further in the gate and returns to what is clearly a seated post, a place for her to sit waiting by the door on the outside. The person inside beckons you to come in and says, yes, you owe spices. The bishop will be pleased, will be very pleased. Mr. I'm sorry.
Never know.
Your name? Master Never Know. Please proceed to the large set of doors closest to the far end of the square. And it will be the large set of double doors to the left as you reach the wall. You good sir, will he talks to Saruk. Please feel free to join me here. Would you care for some ale refreshment? And I will assume that Saruk grumbles yes, sits down and starts to smoke a pipe.
Sounds like classic Saruk. Okay. I
Okay.
kind of want to leave the part
See,
in the,
even-
in the
even
audio
when-
where the fire drill happens. It's just very
All
old.
So I'm gonna trust that like the party can like separate metagame from like
Yeah, of
in
course.
character, because I don't want to have to text a whole ton of stuff to the GM about what's about to happen. But
That would
yeah.
be bad for the people.
So I
watching
go
on
to the
YouTube,
I
yes.
go to the doors. Yeah, I go to the doors. I
Yes.
enter. Am I in the room now with the bishop?
No, you meet a smaller person also in the dark robes of a Pharasman cleric. This one has a belt which has golden fittings on it around their waist. Oh, you have come to see the bishop. Please follow me. And proceeds to
I
lead
bow.
you upstairs, around, and finally you reach what you are able to determine was the center spire that you saw in the rear of the monastery complex. It's 4 floors up, and it was the largest tower of the compound. And obviously you're going to the top floor. It takes 10 minutes or so time to walk. And you are brought to a barred door with a slit in it.
I return.
Good to see you, Ross.
Well, okay, currently you are sitting somewhat happily in the courtyard, drinking ale with a Pharasman monk acolyte. He has not been fully inducted, but you're sitting there listening to him prattle on about what's been happening around there recently. He's a little bit unsure what to do with the big person in the courtyard, but he is at least providing beer.
Hey, who's the big person in the courtyard?
Oh, you.
Oh,
You.
The half orc.
Yes.
fair enough. I'm just like, is there another big person?
No.
We have run into a bunch of orcs that I'd like to go beat their faces in throughout the course of this game, but not right now.
Yes, they're too busy warning halfling children to stay away from you.
Yeah, that they are.
Yeah.
Wow. Fair enough. It's obnoxious anyway.
Yeah. But so you are in the courtyard. Dale got split off and taken inside to negotiate the sale of the spices. And at this point, back to Dale, the cleric, for lack of a better term, knocks in. Give me a religion check.
Josh has forgotten how rolling works.
No, Josh. When I'm a player character, I wish I could roll like that. You recognize the knock. She's not just knocking on the door.
I'm rolling privately is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you could not, because my stream can't see that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's why
No,
we
you-
definitely had to separate the meta from the player knowledge.
Absolutely.
Because,
We're all big boys here, and we all can. What did you roll there?
right. All right.
I think he's talking to someone he doesn't want us to know about.
And that's
It's
great.
secret.
Good. What is the total on the roll from people
24.
watching? Thank you.
24.
Nice. Well done.
That's a pretty good roll.
So it's, you notice you recognize that pattern of a knock. It is not merely knocking on the door. It is a recognition phrase, basically. And it is specifically a recognition series that you know of from being a servant of Norgorber.
Then I respond in kind. I respond the way.
But that was just knocking on the door.
Okay.
At which point the window is slid open. Yes, sister. The one to see the bishop is here. Very well. Bring him in. And the door is unlocked and swings inward. The priestess gestures for you to step through. As you go through, you notice that you are now in an antechamber. So there are benches and hooks on the wall. It's clearly able to be used as a guard room, but it is set up as more of a reception area. You are invited to, you are politely invited to leave all weapons on one of the tables.
I immediately do so.
Now, I will ask one question that I hadn't asked you as a player earlier. Do you have any concealed or in not normal places weapons? Like a dagger up a sleeve or anything like that?
No, and if I did, I would immediately put those down too. I would allow someone to like search me, like.
Yeah. The gentleman, he's wearing robes, but I'll just say this. Just the way he moves causes that small little part in the back of your brain that does threat assessment to start muttering very uncomfortable things.
Mm.
This guy moves like a jungle cat. He doesn't so much walk as slide across the room. Very well. The bishop will see you now. He opens a smaller door, hands you, after you, he brings the spices in with you and sets them on a side table. You are ushered into a room. It's very well lit. Dark wall hangings, dark stone construction, large tapestry banners of Pharasma's sigil, a picture of her on her throne in the boneyard, judging souls and sending them to their appropriate fate. And behind the desk, there's a large, very ornate desk, is a rather large man. I wouldn't say, well, he's corpulent, but he is not, okay, he's fat, but he does not appear to be soft. He has a very imposing demeanor.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm familiar
he-
with the Kingpin and Spider-Man, so that definitely know that type.
Yes, very much. I just wish I could show you page 27 of Reign of Fear
Rule of
by
Fear.
Paizo, but
We
unfortunately,
have the power of Google.
I have the
yes,
power of I'm open that PDF myself right now.
yes. Uh, if you wish for a picture, look for Bishop.
What was it? Reign of Fear?
Rule of Fear. The
Rule of
Guide
Fear.
to Ustalav.
Yes, but the bishop's name is Yasmardin Senir, and as he looks at you, looking up from a book which is prominently marked with the sigil of Pharasma. Yes. Why are you here? Matthias.
Okay.
Thank you. Close the door behind you. And
Okay, the first thing I'm going to ask is, Mir, are we the only eyes and ears in this room? Magical or otherwise?
one of his large bushy eyebrows reaches up towards his widow's peak hair and says, "Why do you wish to know?"
I will slowly and meticulously, so he knows that this isn't me drawing a weapon. I will show him my mask and say, because there are secrets that no one else can know. And these secrets are of much interest. I feel will be of much interest to you.
Very well.
And to the interest of those of him we serve, the keeper of all secrets.
Okay. He is okay. Roll his. You see him begin to move his hands, and he mutters slightly. You feel a magic spell targeting you. Do you resist or do you accept?
I will accept in good faith. After all, if he wanted to kill me, he could have easily done so. If he wanted to do something else to me, he could have easily done so. So I'm not going to resist. I'm going to show good faith and accept it.
You feel a little strange as sort of a tingling goes across your body. He looks at you and says, "We are the only eyes. In the name of one who we serve, lie to me." What do you do?
I don't want to deceive him. I want to tell him what I want to tell him, and it's the truth. The way he said it makes me think he wants me to deceive him, and I don't.
Okay. Okay, I will toss this out to other people who know the system. What would be an appropriate check to know what has been cast on you?
To know that
Or
a
at
spell's
least,
been cast on you?
no, these, like a specific spell.
That would be Arcana for a wizard, sorcerer, nature for a druid, occultism for a...
And religion for a cleric?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, give me a religion check.
I always seem to get those nat 20s story-wise, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Tommy knows this. How many times have I rolled a D20 20 roll on a story point?
Hey, it's important now. Now you know what was cast on you.
Yeah.
Now you know how long you have to live.
Who said that had anything to do with what he's going to do? There's so many other ways. You realize that as you think about it, when you think, as you ponder this, the moment, lie, why would I lie? And you realize that you don't feel you could lie. The words would not come out of your mouth.
Okay.
The spell that has been cast upon you prevents you from lying.
Okay.
This is a
You
good
are physically unable to lie.
Got it.
You feel like the words would just stick in your mouth.
Got it. Okay. So what I tell him is I tell him about why I'm wearing the collar, what has happened to myself in the party, and I tell him whatever is in the chest that we brought with us must be worth a whole lot, and I think Norgorber should have it, and the servants of Norgorber should have it a whole lot more than whoever put us on this quest.
And suddenly I regret every decision I've ever made involving your character.
And I tell him that the time that we have to get to Castle Conquest, and say, I came here today to let you know that if you should have a few people at that location at the time the chest is delivered, then Norgorby be praised, he would get the contents of the chest, and not whoever sent us on this thing. And I tell him about the people that sent us on it and say they are not weaklings, so utmost preparation must be made. But I feel we have enough time. And I brought the spices as a show of good faith.
Well, as for the spices, I will pay what I normally would pay any merchant.
Thank you. That will help.
For that Prince questions. As far as let me think on this a moment. Please.
Okay.
Go
I
to the
will
door.
say one more thing to him. I will say, should everything go as planned, then I would offer one more thing to you. I would offer you my tongue to serve you until the day serve you and Norgorber directly till the day I die.
I know that's not what you mean, but I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
But I've told him about like how so utmost caution.
Here's what you shall do. Go to the door and call Matthias. Send him in and wait in my anteroom. I must decide the best way to make use of what you have told me.
I bow respectfully and obey completely.
Send him in, and Also, but before he is to come in, tell him he is to send for Yazim, my cook.
I bow and
Yeah.
follow his orders to the letter.
Excellent. The Once you get out there, Matthias, Sin grabs an acolyte passing in the hall, tells them to go get the cook up here, in using several terms that you generally would not associate with a cloistered member of a religious order. Evidently, the cook is not a member of a religious order, at least as thoroughly as it is described where his soul should go if it takes him more than 3 minutes to get there.
Wow. Okay, then.
Matthias and the cook aren't good friends. But as we continue, he goes in. Matthias goes in, speaks with the bishop, comes out, waits by the bishop's door. The cook arrives. He and Matthias growl and snarl at each other. The cook is not dressed as a Pharasman. The cook is very obviously a Shellonite.
What?
Down to the multicolored bird embroidered on a large white cap. And wearing colors that one does not expect inside a Pharasman monastery. It probably also does not help that the cook is a gnome. Of a very plump gnome.
Eats well.
So as muttered greetings of, "You look especially great. What threw up this morning?" And, "Oh, I see you're alive still. Such a shame." With other such niceties, they cross paths. Matthias quickly leaves the reception area and the cook goes into the bishop's chambers, and you hear the sounds of metal locking bars fall in place. You wait for 20, 30 minutes. Matthias returns bearing a small chest and walks forward and gives another coded knock at the door. You hear the bolts being drawn and the door opens. Matthias just looks at you and says, "Come."
I do so.
As you walk in, the gnome chef has clearly gone through the spices, tested them, tasted them. You see a small glass of water, which is now dyed the reddish yellow from the saffron. You see that one of the nutmegs has been scraped, and you smell the smells of those spices. The gnome turns to you and says, "These are not the freshest, but they are fresher than many we get here. Have you discussed price with the bishop?" And before you can answer, the bishop rumbles, "Yes, we have." "Well, then I will not have to attempt to bargain with you. But thank you for bringing them here. If you ever are able to bring such or more, please know that we will buy them gratefully. And for me, I have things to do in the kitchen.
Of course.
The gnome picks up the tray and leaves, cackling almost maniacally. And as he slips through the door, past Matthias, the last thing you hear is, don't let the door, well, actually, do let the door hit you. Not that anyone would notice. As he slips out and goes laughing and chuckling down the hallways.
They're secretly a married couple. I ship it.
Oh my god.
Oh, dear Lord.
The
A
saddest
very
part is
old
that I
married couple.
agree. I
The
totally
only-
agree. Oh.
Oh, no,
I still ship it.
but the bishop nods to Matthias and he closes the door. Mr. Neverknow,
Honest
here's
sir.
what we shall do. You have offered yourself to my service. If I choose to accept it, it will be until I choose to end it. Do you agree to this?
With all of my soul.
Very well. Here's what you shall do. You will deliver the box as you had been ordered by the ones who collared you. You will not attempt to go after them by yourself. I personally view both the artificer and the magister as threats I do not wish to face at this time. You shall keep your association with me secret. You will tell nothing other than you gained my favor for bringing saffron, which everyone knows is my favorite of spices. But you will deliver your package to whom it should be delivered to. You shall see it through, though it cost you your life. And once, no. As quickly after, or no less or no more than a day before, you will release this. He beckons to Matthias, who comes up, sets the small chest on his table and opens it. There is inside a medallion, and that medallion has in it a carved stone bird. You will carry this with you. As close to the time as you can, in secret, release this bird. It shall come to those who need to know. Give the chest to those whom you have been tasked to. What happens from there is not a secret for you. Return, and we shall discuss your service further. to release the bird. Hold it in both hands towards the sky and speak the name of the one we serve. Is that clear?
To the letter.
He holds the medallion out to you. As you reach for it and grab it, he holds it for a moment and says, "You are my hands, my ears, my eyes. Tell no one the results but me." And he releases the coin into your grip. Now, he reaches to the side of the desk, put a small velvet purse on the table in front of him. Take your payment and leave in the morning.
All right. I say, thank you, sir, and I walk out and do exactly as he instructed.
Okay. So it is sunset.
Do I get to buy a pretty butterfly?
I was going to get back to that. But believe me, you cannot describe how much you want that butterfly. So you are led back down to the entryway. Saruk, you see him wave to you as he walks by. He is carrying a purse. Give me a perception check.
Sure. 28.
He sure did not have that with him when he left. And it's definitely not empty. In fact, you would say it probably weighs a good bit. You can't quite smell the money from where you are, but if you inhaled really strongly, you probably could.
I'll just finish the tankard I'm drinking, I guess, and just kind of...
Yeah.
So, negotiations go well.
We have earned the monastery's favor.
Neat. So, what now? Keep up with the plan?
Well, our business here is done. We just need to move on with our journey.
I nod. I'll bet that will help out a bit. I say, kind of just gesturing towards the purse.
How much is in the purse, by the way, so I can record it for the notes?
Well, considering that you are off the main trade routes, you brought two very rare spices, that being cloves and saffron. And saffron personally being the bishop's favorite, I'm going to say that you basically were able to sell everything for 4 times standard pricing from the old, because, well, let's see. You saw what happened when you crossed the mountains to get there. And
You are absolutely correct.
So that would mean And I'm going to use since it doesn't really have the prices in the new one, I feel it reasonable to use the one from Ultimate Equipment. So, the cloves and saffron you managed to sell for 15 gold a pound.
Okay.
So, that's 60 gold right there. Nutmeg, you managed the 2 pounds of nutmeg you sold for 1 gold each. And the cinnamon you sold for 5 silver. So I would say that were you just a normal spice merchant, that's not a bad day's work.
It's not bad at all.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it's
No.
135 gold and 5 silvers where we're at now.
Nice.
Nice.
So I assume you stay the evening, then roll on in the morning?
Yeah, exactly as he said to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as you wake up, bright and cheerful on the morning of the 15th day of your adventure to the north, you begin. Okay. Well, here comes a secondary choice. There is a road, both a road and water travel available to start in the next 2 miles from the monastery. There's let me see if I can pull up the name of the body of water. You're on the other side of the mountains, so now you have a river whose headwaters begin in the mountains and flow north. So you have a choice. You can either, since you've stopped there, you can continue to travel solely by road, or you can try to get some form of water transportation to speed your journey north. And luckily enough, you are about halfway there.
As we reach halfway to our heads explode. Yeah, Sealimgar, especially like if it becomes super obvious how much cash we have now, I don't see any reason why we don't just get the fastest boat and start chugging along.
I'd still like to buy my butterfly if we have time for
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I'm just gonna like pause when I hear the mention of a butterfly and go, "What?"
And this would have been the day
Actually,
beforehand.
yes. Well, this would have happened while negotiations were going on.
Okay, cool.
So Lillian, as I said, there is a beautiful hand-carved wooden butterfly as part of a mobile over a child's crib.
Oh,
It is, you just look at it and it just screams art beyond belief. This is art beyond the mere conventions of symmetry and conventional beauty. This is a piece of art like you can only look at in awe. You feel you need this.
all right. So I will cautiously break off from the party.
Oh no.
You see it, the hovel where the crib is out in front of is, olive 50 feet away.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And I have quite the quick pace.
and as you come up, a young lady who looks to be about 16, 17 looks up at you momentarily and quickly darts her eyes back down. Yes, lady. What may I do for you?
Before I answer, I'd like to take a better look at that butterfly. Well, because I would be much
Yeah.
closer now, right?
Yes. However, from closer, it is clear that someone spent time using a technique you have not seen before in carving to create this masterpiece. You don't, I mean, in some places, it's almost as if maybe an animal chewed upon it, but no, it couldn't be that. It's such, you fall even more thoroughly in love with it, knowing that this must have taken weeks of effort to produce.
Just the butterfly.
Just the
On the
butterfly.
mobile.
On the mobile.
Okay. I'm quite curious. Do you know who made that mobile?
My husband, lady.
Ah. Does he have a shop in town?
No, my lady. He works the farms for the monastery, lady.
Interesting. So I assume he'd be out working right now, correct?
Yes, my lady. I believe they're digging root vegetables today.
Interesting. How much do you think you would charge someone who wanted to buy that mobile?
Lady, we would. If you have come to the monastery, you may have it. You may take it. It's please. She quickly takes it away and reaches it out to you with somewhat shaking hands.
I will grab it by the string it would normally be suspended by, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Tell your husband I quite like his work.
Yes, my lady. Yes, my lady. And she quickly takes the child and goes inside the hut.
As someone
And
who is generally a good person, not offering to pay for that hurt me a little, but I couldn't see losing money when Lillian could get it for free.
fair enough.
So how do the rest of the pieces look on this compared to the butterfly?
Oh, they're complete garbage.
Okay.
Looks like some guy maybe took a rock made from a knife made from a rock and kind of tried to scratch some shapes into
Gotcha.
wood.
So I'll cut the butterfly off on its own and set the rest just as like kindling or firewood.
Okay.
And join back up with the party because I am a fast walker and that is really convenient.
Okay. So
Oh my
what
God.
are you, so here comes the important question. What are you going to do with this unbelievable piece of artwork? It's maybe 4 inches across and 3 inches high.
I was thinking of wrapping it in cloth for now, and when I had time to sit down, like sketching it out in all dimensions to try and see if I can reverse engineer the technique.
Oh, it's the soul of the piece. It calls to you.
Lilian gets strangely fascinated on many things, it would seem.
Weird food,
There's-
children's toys. That's what it is.
Everyone but Lillian, make a perception check.
Ooh, okay, how horrible is it? Like, what is my skewed perception?
Well, if it means anything, they're just rolling to see if they notice it
Okay.
in your possession. Okay.
I don't see a thing.
J- Josh and Tommy, you notice that evening that she has something that she's kind of looking at wrapped in a piece of cloth. Saruk. Dear Lord, what has this elf thingy have in her hands now? If someone attempted to sculpt a butterfly out of dried excrement, it would look better than this.
So it does look like poop,
It
literally.
It is, the wood is not stained as in with a wood stain, but like various things were poured on the wood it was carved out of. It looks like one end has been chewed on by a dog. It is in every way to a butterfly what her potion was to perfume.
I'm just
In
gonna
other words,
walk
what
up
you're
behind-
saying, it's the world's first modern art masterpiece.
God.
That's-
Pretty
I am the-
much.
He
Oh.
has discovered avant-garde.
Hey,
I
hey,
am
hey.
the mistress of the modern art.
Some modern art's good. I raise you Banksy, but yeah, I cannot disagree with the modern consensus. I'm just gonna walk up behind her and go, all right, look, I'll make jokes about you, getting into pieces of crap and whatnot in taste, but seriously, what pigsty did you crawl in to find this one?
I crawled in no pigsty.
I just kind of like, my eyes kind of go wide and I step back a step or two, like she just said something even worse. Look, I don't want to know where you got that from. Just keep yourself and that at least 10 feet away from me before you take at least 3 showers, and not in that anti-wolf cologne bull now that you got. All right, just shaking my head like, what is up with them?
The young
It-
can't appreciate it. She is
Why is it that
75.
Why is it that the young can't appreciate it? I mean, I get the bite marks there. Perhaps you're going for a bit more of an animalistic interpretation of the futility of life, but for Pete's sake, why the carving there? Why the multiple stains? God, at least follow proper color theory. Breaking character there. Just gonna
Yeah,
walk
I
over.
feel like we.
No,
I feel
no,
like
no.
we're now going to have a philosophical discussion about this, and then the other part of me wants to defend Lily.
I just kind of walk over to the other two, just be like, "All right, have you seen what the elf's got now? I'm seriously worried about her. I think some of those fumes she's working with or something has really messed with her noggin.
Why? What does she have? And I'll look over.
I'll kid you not. It looks like somebody took a statue of a butterfly, ate it, digested it, let it go back out as nature intended, and then proceeded to pick it up and try to make it into a butterfly again. And repeated the process at least 3 more steps before they got done.
Well, there is no accounting for taste. And Silver just like hand up to mouth to try to like
Excrement!
hide the like the laugh as he sees this butterfly thing.
Dale and Silumgar, as you look upon the beauteous piece, as Lillian proudly shows it to you,
Oh,
you
I do not.
realize-
This is for me. This is not. I'm still working and studying this.
yes, but when you get to see it, you realize that perhaps Saruk has been charitable in his description of the piece.
Wow.
Wow. That was charitable. Wow.
That was
All you can say is, if any of you, well, okay, Dale and Saruk, if you ever truly came into a large amount of money where money was no longer an object, she is the last person you would have decorate your living space.
Oh, the perfume would be atrocious. The decor would be non-existent. My God, I don't even want to know what she'd do with the floral arrangements. And don't even get me started on the
Every
garden.
flower would be poisonous.
That actually would be useful in a rogue's house. Let's not lie.
Please.
Yeah.
Just plant all the death bell.
That's true.
Yep. And Silumgar, there's part of the fact that you look at this as being something she likes and you think maybe she would be good to put things in one of the cells for acolytes when they break them down mentally, reduce them to a state of complete mental shatteredness,
Wow.
and build them back up into
Wow.
people.
Well, because all the decor is that way. Like, there's constantly flooding the room with my mundane gas stretch.
Oh God! Wow.
This is the sort of things that the Rakasha do to break down the strong will of people, to build them back up as members of the House of the Second Breath.
Okay, but now I really want Lillian to actually design a room of that.
No.
Just oblivious.
No.
Oh, it looks like just how I spent my childhood when I was taken from my parents by Raksasha. Oh, good.
Yes.
No mental disorders here.
Why
no.
won't it burn? Why won't it burn?
I made it flame retardant.
No.
There's no oxygen based off of the smell of a
Wait, wouldn't that potentially just
Italian
make an even
Christmas.
bigger flame depending on what is actually in the compound?
Ugh.
I'm pretty certain that she might have just discovered a key component to the next level's fire grenade.
This is how we make out.
Don't worry. I'm gonna
Level
start doing
7.
psychic damage, and it's gonna be great.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm working towards it.
I just kind of like see the two of them's reaction and just kind of go, yeah. She's a real connoisseur, ain't she?
Emphasis on the sewer. Okay.
That was pretty nice.
Oh,
Thank you. It's been a while since I've gotten to use that one.
oh.
So,
this
as
is
we
glorious.
set off the next morning, I will say y'all are ready to head out of town, and we can deal with your choice of transportation from there as the start of next session. So, day 16 of your quest.
We're halfway to we are super dead forever. Also, Josh is plotting against us, and that's fun. But thank you guys for watching, and I imagine there's going to be a fight now at some point at the end of the session that we're going to... Because Sealingar has also kind of been in the same boat. Like, these people have collared me, these people have done bad. I am going to kill them. Serendipitous that it comes from the other side. Nevertheless, be sure to like and subscribe for more sweet Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition content. I imagine this, and well and truly as we call it on Twitch, and I should have named it on Twitch, Tuesday night 2E will roll over from Playtest to 2E as we run around doing our different games in our different settings. But for now, that's all. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.